Hello, welcome to Geeky Hijinks, home of the Mischief Makers, and today we're looking at the Suicide Squad.
I do not mind the rain sometimes.
Ratatouille, what do you got?
Bird.
Now it. Stay off the comm.
So guys, before we get stuck into the Suicide Squad directed by James Gunn, I'm going to touch on the first one very quickly. Now the first one I haven't got a problem with. I think it's actually a pretty decent film, believe it or not. It's fun, it's dumb, yeah, it's got its problems, it's edited a bit crazily, bit choppy, loads cut out, we know that. Yeah, the villain wasn't even great at all, like the whole circle in the sky, sucking up all things from the ground. We've seen it so many times in so many other films. They should have just gone with the Joker. Some people had problems with the Joker. I didn't mind him. I think it was pretty cool. Like, not perfect, don't get me wrong. He's not the greatest Joker ever, but he's very quotable, like with, "Oh, I'm not going to kill you.
I'm just gonna hurt you. Really, really bad."
Love that line. And even in the first trailer for the Suicide Squad, I was like, oh my god, this looks so good. The first one, released at Comic-Con, not all like the Queen and the crazy trailers after. The first one, that was kind of like with the Bee Gees song, you know, I started a joke, which started the whole world crying. It just fit. It fit the mood of the trailer. And then Batman v Superman came out. It was too dark. And then they made the Suicide Squad. They made changes. Had they just gone with their gut and stuck with what they had, I think it would have been a much better film. But I love the cast, love the characters, love the camaraderie, I love the action. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, going into this one, there was no Joker this time, which I think is a mistake, because I want my Harley Joker Mad Love film, and to see Harley without the Joker is kind of weird for me. I know she can do this. I know she can do it alone, but I want to see her with the Joker at some point, please. Obviously directed by James Gunn, taking over from David Ayer. Different styles completely. You got one who's more gritty, grounded, and you got one who's more flamboyant and colourful. So completely different styles. I want like a nice balance of humour, but also dark green. It's like a mixture of the first one and this one combined. That will suit me fine. Then the second trailer came out. It looked better, but I couldn't get a sense of a story. Talking of which, what is this film about? So the film basically is Amanda Waller takes these misfit villains, puts them together to take down the starfish and save the world. That's literally it. Now straight away guys, the visuals in this film are amazing. It's so colourful. There's one scene in particular with Harley Quinn breaking out of a jail cell, and that is just amazing. I loved it. It was so visual, very psychedelic, and the action set pieces are wicked in this film. The first scene is mental, that's all I'm going to say. The scene with the giant starfish, also crazy, and the best action set piece for me is Harley Quinn. Again, that's like the best scene in the film. And there's a scene where the characters break onto a compound to take down some bad guys, and they're all trying to outdo each other, like get style points, and that's pretty funny too. So the action's cool. And of course, leading from the action, you've got the gore. You've all seen the trailers with King Shark ripping people to pieces and eating people. They're kind of showing his best scenes, I'm not going to lie to you. And the rest of the gory moments are extremely gory, like, oh god, but a bit over the top. You know, like you get so used to them that you can become immune to them and they become less effective. Like with Deadpool, it works better because he has like comedy and the violence, they kind of balance each other out. With this, yeah, the violence was just a bit over the top, and I think a lot of people that enjoyed the first one may get put off by the violence because, yeah, not everyone is into that kind of stuff. A lot of people I know who love the first one liked it because it was just a nice action film, and this one is a nice action film, but maybe a bit too gory for them. But I enjoyed it, but again, OTT. And the characters, not all of them. I liked Joel Kinnaman as Rick Flag, Idris Elba as Bloodsport. I liked Sylvester Stallone, nice little touch, I didn't know he was in this, as King Shark. And of course, I liked Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. But this was a kind of weak Harley performance in my opinion. Great to see her, but the humour was kind of dead. I love Harley Quinn, I love seeing her in this film, but there was something off with her, that she wasn't exactly the funniest character going. A lot of her lines were just like, okay, Ha ha ha, I guess. The funniest scene with Harley Quinn is near the end, where she's running out of a building and she spots a spear on the floor and she's like, ah. And that made me laugh because that was Harley. That was a very Harley moment. The rest of the characters, like John Cena as Peacemaker, he was okay. Like, again, had some funny lines, but not like, what I'm trying to say is the humour didn't land at all in this film. Apart from a couple of times, I didn't laugh at all. The cinema I was in was about 85% full. And no one really laughed. Apart from my girlfriend with the King Shark moments, because he was pretty funny. Yeah, it's like plot armor to the max. King Shark, I've never seen a character have so much plot armor in my entire life than him. This was the name, Ratcatcher 2. No, and there was like Polka Dot Man. He was okay, but them characters, like, they were too obscure. Like, if you're a comic book goer and you love Suicide Squad and you're more open, great. But I think for that, like, the average cinema goer, they're gonna seem stupid. But generally, Rick Flag, Idris Elba as Bloodsport, Harley, and King Shark were my favourite characters. Now, I've got just as many issues with this film as I do good points. And the first one is the villain. The villain is terrible. The first one, not good. Should have gone with the Joker. This film, what are you doing? Like, no one in this film is intimidating. Peter Capaldi didn't need to be in the film, if I'm honest with you. The dictators on this island, was it Maltese? Not good. And even the starfish. Now, there is a moment in this film when you see the starfish unveiled for the first time in the open. It's in the trailer, by the way. Like, they should have kept that a secret because it's not a surprise. Yeah, the trailer gave everything away, by the way. But when you see the starfish appear, only one thing went through my mind.
Who's that Pokemon?
I could just think of Pokemon. I just thought to myself, is this a Suicide Squad Pokemon crossover? Because that is blatantly Staryu. And also there's parts like with Idris Elba and like his daughter. Didn't need to be there. Was only put in there for a plot device, but I used this one, should have just kept that out. But the whole thing with them having to go to the Maltese and destroy the starfish and other elements, it's no different to the first film. So anyone who said, oh, the villain was weak in the first film, but this is amazing, is exactly the same. And going back to the villain really, really quickly, I could not get this image out of my head. Spacey the starfish, it throws these little mini starfish out and it latches onto people's faces, kind of like the facehuggers from Alien. But it looked like the Daleks when they become human in Doctor Who. So every time they started speaking with these starfish on their face, I was like, oh my god. Like, is this a Doctor Who Pokemon Suicide Squad crossover now? Even Amanda Waller. Amanda Waller, played amazingly again by Viola Davis. There was one scene which is so out of character for her character. It blows my mind. Remember the first film? Where they go to rescue her in the building and she pulls out the gun and shoots all her team just because they knew too much? And then you watch this film and see what happens and nothing happens. I was like, what is this? And it's very, very easy to work out who dies. If you watch the trailer before you go into this, it is so clear who gets killed, it's not even funny. And that leads me to the biggest annoyance for me in this film. I get it. They're called a Suicide Squad. They're meant to die. Like, to be in a Suicide Squad is because you're going to die on these missions. But there are 2 character deaths. One, early on. Like, really? Talk about a chump's exit. That's all I'm going to say there. But the one that pissed me off the most was so stupid. Like, big mistake. It left a really bad taste in my mouth when this death happened. I didn't like it one little bit. When it happened, I kind of got put off the film. But then, from that point onwards, I stopped enjoying the film because of this death. Very stupid. If you know what I'm talking about, don't spoil it in the comments because I know there's loads of people who may watch this. You're going to see it on the weekend because it comes out later in America and the rest of the world and the UK. But this one death really pissed me off. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Overall, guys, this film is good. It's just not great. it's not amazing. And that's just me. Like, I'm sitting on YouTube, the best superhero film ever made, the best superhero film this year. That's the Snyder Cut of Justice League, by the way. The best film since The Dark Knight. No. But again, these are my opinions. I enjoyed this film. I thought it was fun. And the good thing is, I watched this 4 days ago, having digested it, I've thought about it more. I'm going into a bit more of a level head, whereas if I'd gone into my review straight after, I'd have been a bit too negative. So letting it just wait a few days and then let me digest it is good. So I would say with this film, would I watch it again? Yes. Am I going to buy it on DVD? Hell yeah, there's still a book for it, the 4K one. Looks so good. I just prefer the first one. And if you think, Joe, no, what are you talking about? The first one's awful, this one's much better. That's fine, you know. Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, James Bond, everyone's got their favourite, and no one's wrong. Like me, am I wrong? No, but you might think you're wrong, and that's absolutely fine. But for me, this film is just good. But the best way to describe it to you is it is a fun spectacle with all the violence, but no heart. And that's what I liked about the first one. Not gratuitous violence, but there was heart, a great group of characters, and there was a great camaraderie. And I think that's what drew me to the first one more than this one. So on that note, I'm going to give The Suicide Squad 3 out of 5 geeky coins. Also guys, make sure you stick around to the end credits because there is an end credits scene, and my god did it piss me off even more because it completely undoes a moment in the film that made me feel a little bit better. And to see it undone like this, I was like, I don't care. What are you trying to set up? I'm never gonna... But yeah, end credits scene, loads of people left. Everyone left apart from like 5 people. I stuck around. One of my phones typed in, is there an end credit scene? It said yes. I was like, sweet. And let you know so you can stick around. But yeah, I didn't like it. So guys, that was my review of The Suicide Squad. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Was it the snooze fest or the greatest film you've ever seen? Come right to the comments and let me know because I genuinely am interested. And if you like this video, drop me his likes because it always does help. But until next time, stay out of trouble.